Hey everyone, and welcome back to the X-Ring. On today's episode, what we're going to do is talk about a company that makes the best out the front in the world. I don't know if you guys know, there's a lot of people that know that Microtech used to be in the firearms business, and it was Microtech Small Arms Research, and this was their rifle. This was their take on a Steyr AUG. It is different from a Steyr AUG in that you had places to place Picatinny's. They came up with some other rails and things like that. They made over 12,000 of these units. I believe that started in about 2012. I will tell you that MSAR no longer makes rifles and you can't get parts for them. However, there are some places where you can actually find some of these parts if you go online. So this example right here, I actually purchased from a gun range. It was a well-worn unit, and I was walking around. They were having a sale selling all of their range guns, and I bought this for $300. Now, when I bought it, they told me it was broken and that it did not extract. I was able to source an extractor from one of these online companies. I dropped it in, and it's been great. Now, I don't know if that happened because they were just using so much steel case ammunition, because these don't like steel case ammunition. I do know that when they made these, they said, you know, don't shoot steel case through there. But very, very unique design. So this is a bullpup. If you guys aren't familiar with what a bullpup is, basically you are getting a full 16-inch barrel in a short, compact package, somewhere around 28 inches measuring from tip to butt. Now to compare it, I'm just going to grab a Colt AR-15 with a 16-inch barrel, and you can see we're already over 4 inches longer, and that's with the buttstock collapsed. And most people don't shoot an AR with the buttstock collapsed like that. That's a tongue twister. So yeah, it was a really, really unique design. You know, they still make these Steyr AUGs. I think price point somewhere around $2,200 or so. But the Bullpup enables you to have a much shorter package with a full-length 16-inch barrel. It's a great platform. I've never had any issues with this whatsoever. You know, I know there's some differing opinions out there on the internet, but a bullpup has its place. Number one, it's well balanced, okay? I can actually shoot this one-handed. I could do it off my back and get up. And the AR one-handed, yeah, you can do it, but you're not gonna do it long, okay? Especially when you put a magazine in here of 30 rounds and it starts to hang more and more weight off of the nose. It's really tough to do that, especially when you're trying to maneuver. One of the disadvantages of a bullpup is going to be the linkage connecting the trigger all the way back to the action, because you got to remember the action's back here at your face. And so, yeah, the triggers have been known to be kind of sloppy, and that's in everything with regards to, you know, even the Tavors, they've done a lot better. I believe Geisley now makes a trigger for the Tavor, you know, whether it's the X95 or whatever. But I've had a lot of bullpups, everything from like FS 2000s, I call that the big tuna. And as long as you can get over the shape of it, they're actually not bad rifles. They're very compact. I like them, and I know that the military now is actually looking for some bullpup styles because of how portable it is. It's great in a vehicle and all of that. So let's go over some of the controls. So looking on the right side here, you're going to see a slot. Now this can be changed over for left side ejection, and that's one of the negatives. If you're a right-handed shooter, it's going to eject off to the right, but if you try to switch to your support side, now you're going to be eating cases in the face. So Microtech had designed this little slot with something that connected on the inside. I actually used to have one, I just can't find it. And basically it was a little metal ramp, and it kept it from deflecting into your face. Moving on forward, you're going to actually see how we disassemble it right here. This is a cross bolt basically that holds the whole action in. You have your safety on this side. You guys can see the white for safe and fire, but you'd see it from the other side. And working our way forwards, now you have the regulator here that has the piston inside. Coming up forwards, flash hider, and then of course you do have this grip as well that folds up. I know one of the big misconceptions is you can go from a CQB style rifle and just basically take this out and throw you a 20-inch barrel in there for more of a, you know, like a DMM roll. But the problem is those have to be head spaced. You can't just take one out from another. You always run the risk of catastrophic failure. Now let's go to this other side. Now on the other side, you can see the cover that covers the ejection port for left side eject. You also have this that's going to be your bolt hold or bolt release. This right here is going to be a through pin. This was an addition. This had a flush cup in it, but basically to take the trigger pack out, you press on this, and when you press on the back side, that will, we are clear, so I'm just going to hold it this way so you guys can see it. You just press on this detent. It's a little rubber piece, and you just pull that out. Buttstock comes off, and there's your trigger group right there. So yeah, very easy to clean, very simple. All right, so now that I was actually facing the rifle, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, you guys can see that, the buttstock goes on here. And then what we're gonna do is get our through pin back in. Working your way forward, you'll see the other side of that cross bolt that holds everything together. This right here is the safety. This right here is actually going to be your charging handle, okay? That can be put in the upright position. Let me move my position so you can see this a little better. But you just pull it back, you can lift it to lock it like that. Sometimes they slip, but there you go. Now, looking right here on the bottom, that right there, if you push that in, that will enable you to remove the barrel. So basically, I'm just going to push this in. That will allow me to remove the barrel. You guys can actually see a Marfion dagger there. And then also MSAR with Microtech Small Arms Research. So that's that part. Let me go ahead and set the barrel down. Now what we do is we can actually just push this through bolt over. And most of your Steyr AUGs and all that are going to do this exact same way. And all we do is we are going to pull that through. It stops in place. And then now what we do is take this part off. Once you do that, you have your two runners or your rails. I'll do this so you guys can see it. And there's your bolt there with the firing pin in the back. So very, very simple, very easy to put together, disassemble. You don't have to use a lot of oil on these. And that's it, all one piece. So I guess what we need to do is start shooting this. Now, when Microtech came out with these originally, they used the Steyr AUG mags, which looked like this. They were the waffle mags. Now these were proprietary, so you couldn't use other magazines. These are very hard to, or they're a little harder to source now. But this one is an STG E4. The E4 allowed you to use Stanag mags. So as long as you check your mags first, you shouldn't have any problems. I know they like the metal mags. Lancers will work in them. You can also use like MFT. But the mag pulls with over insertion tabs, those don't work. So let's go ahead and get this thing zeroed. Let's get it dialed in at 20 yards and get to shooting it. I've been talking enough. All right, so let's go ahead and confirm zero at 20 yards. I'll just do 5 shots. We're gonna be using 55 grain PMC out of a Lancer 20 round box mag. The dot up top, this is actually not a dot, it's an ACSS Cyclops by Primary Arms. A pretty neat little setup. It does have an illuminated reticle in it, but let's go ahead and get this thing loaded. Now let me show you on this right here. To load it, you just insert the mag. We are good to go. Now we're gonna charge it. And that's it. So let's see what we can do with a 5-shot group. All right, so I think she is dialed in. Now to take the magazine out, now this is still hot, it still has some rounds in it. To take the magazine out, you can literally just go up with a thumb and pull like that. All right, so it does have last round bolt hold, and once I get done reloading, I'm just gonna hit the top of the bolt release here. Let's see what it looks like real time when I do a mag change. I'm gonna try to do this so it doesn't obscure everything. All right, so here we go. We'll lock back, insert a new mag, hit the release, just like that. So not trying to do it really fast or anything, but just showing you and trying to load it out of the back pocket and everything, but that's how that works. Really cool little platform. All right, so we'll do up drill on the one on the right. Center mass. Sternum. Sternum. Okay, that was a little low. We'll go headshot right. That was dead on. Headshot left. Headshot right. Give him a new titty. Yeah, it's quick, it's easy, guys. It's very intuitive, easy to shoot quickly. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a little faster fire going. All right, before we start shooting quickly, I do want you to realize this is not going to have the short travel that an AR does. It's not crazy long, and this one doesn't have a bad trigger in it. There you go. Here's the reset. You can see exactly how much movement we have up here on the front side of that. So quite a bit actually. So let's go ahead and let's just do some drills on that. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to use an MFT mag here. And we are empty. Last round bolt hold. Here we go. All right, 75 yards. We'll just go for those steals there. Oh, I have my camera on the ground. So plenty accurate enough. Let's go ahead and step it on back to 100. All right, so we have a few rounds left. Let's go ahead and try this at 100. Uh-oh, missed left. So although it's not a precision rifle, it is a great battle rifle proven after the, even the Steyr AUGs. It's still a well sought out rifle. It is a great setup. I don't have any issues with this one. Okay, you either get a good one or you get a bad one from what I understand, but they're a lot of fun to shoot. Let's go ahead and finish the mag out. The other thing is it is so short, I'm used to having a hand out further, but like I said, it's a really small package, great in a vehicle because it is so small, very compact. What's not to like? Microtech Small Arms Research. All right, guys, so we have this primary arm Cyclops on the MSAR STG, just shooting 55 grainer. Let's go ahead and try to take it out to, let me confirm it at 100, and then what I'll do is I'll take a shot at 300. We'll have Bryson call me out on it. So here we go.
Third target.
100 yards, first target. All right, guys, so even though it's not a precision rifle, you have to think of what it is. It's a Bullpup. Still has a 16-inch barrel, just shooting the 55 grainers, but that 300-yard target out there is about 8 inches tall and about 5 inches wide. So that's a very, very small target. So all in all, very effective battle rifle. All right, I hope you enjoyed that review of the MSAR STG 556 E4. E4 meaning that it uses the standard magazines. Microtech Small Arms Research. Great little platform. If you run across one of these, I've seen these in everywhere from gun shops to pawn shops, and I've seen prices ranging anywhere from $800 all the way up to about $1,500. But there were some very collectible ones. There were actually some that came with a Pelican case that had knives in them and everything else. And if you found one of those unfired, those have been going steadily up in value because this is no longer. So hopefully you enjoyed that review. Hopefully you learned a little something about the history of Microtech and Microtech Small Arms Research. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and bust 20,000. I'll do a giveaway when we reach 20. You guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.